Welcome back to Honeycombing Through the Years with Alison and Nathan.
And we're here today to get the buzz on Airea Johnson. So you submitted a poem called Ideally to the Echo Spring magazine, correct?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Could you tell us a little bit about that piece and what it means to you, if you remember?
All right, so I was going through a lot in high school with kind of just my own personal identity and how I see myself and how other people perceive me. And that's something that I've always really struggled with. And ideally was kind of an exploration of my relationship with men, my relationship with my family, and just my overall personal relationship with myself. Um, I went back and read it. I was kind of embarrassed reading it because I've written a lot better things since then. But basically, I don't really know what else to say about it. Thinking about the lines and what I said in the piece, my family, there's a history of addiction in my family. So it calls to mention that. I was really embarrassed and ashamed of that. Um, and I was going through this weird breakup phase, like on and off relationship with my then boyfriend. And I I don't know, I felt like I needed to be loved. And so that poem is kind of just my it's a confessional piece. It's a confession to needing to feel loved and being ashamed of of my family and stuff. But yeah.
So, was there like a specific part of Ideally that spoke out to you the most?
Um, yeah. So there's this part in the poem where I'm describing myself as an inner saleswoman, and I say, "Take me, love me. I'll give you my beating heart in a lace gift box for just a glance." And that it hits different because I still feel that way. I still feel like I'm begging people for my love and attention. Um, I kind of do feel like this sham. I still feel like that. In that poem, I'm talking about how I'm basically this poser bargaining for love, and I still feel like that. So even even as a 21-year-old thinking about 17-year-old me writing that stuff, I'm like, oh, what's changed? So that piece really sticks out to me.
And you had earlier mentioned that going back and reading this makes you cringe just because of how far you've come since then. Would you care to elaborate on that? Like, was there anything part of whether it was the Echo or creative writing that helped play a role in that?
It was definitely Vana's class. That was the first step because I didn't know I was a writer. I knew that I liked to read, but when I joined Vana's class, I was obsessed with David Sedaris. I'm still obsessed with David Sedaris. So, and he and I kind of bonded over that because he was a super Sedaris fan too. But I took that class in high school, and it changed my life because I'm like, there's a craft to this. Because before I would just write in my diary and that people, even though logically I knew, yeah, people do this for a living, but that's when it kind of really sunk in that I could make something out of this. So after Steinbrenner, I went to Flagler. I started taking creative writing classes at Flagler and connected with one of the poetry professors there. And then that's when my writing like really, I don't want to say took off, but that's when I really got confident in my writing. That's taking her class. That's when I had my first poem published in a publication outside of school. And since then, she and I have been in contact and working together. And she and I are actually supposed to work on my first chapbook, which is exciting. So, oh my God, yeah. So I've taken classes that are similar to Echo. There is a class at Flagler called Flair, and it's just a publication. So at Flagler, I've taken like 2 publication classes, a poetry class, a short story class, a nonfiction class. And right now I'm in like advanced fiction. So I've really just immersed myself in creative writing. And the origin story was Vana's class, senior year of high school. Yeah.
So like you just said, you took it senior year. Did you do anything else with the Echo?
Okay, so I took that class senior year, but there was an open mic, and I went to the open mic and read one of my pieces, and someone who works for the Echo was like, "Oh my God, you need to be on the staff." But I was already a senior, so I couldn't do anything. So all I did was submit pieces and like go to open mic. That's it. So a really big bummer because I missed an opportunity to work on the Echo, but no biggie.
Yeah.
No, I always admired the Echo. So I came to Steinbrenner halfway through sophomore year. I came from Alabama. Ugh. So I lived in Alabama. I lived in Alabama my whole life. And then when I was 16, I moved to Tampa. So, it took a while for me to adjust because Alabama life and Florida life, different. They didn't have any writing classes or anything like that. But I really think that Donna's class kind of encouraged me to keep writing and to pursue writing like in college because that's what I did. I went to Flagler as a history major, realized that was boring. So then started English, and then I was like, wow, this is also kind of crusty. And then they opened up creative writing. So then that's when I was like, all right. Yeah.
And aside from poetry, what other creative mediums are you really interested in?
Okay, so I'm in a fiction class right now, and that's actually been really fun. I didn't know I could write fiction. And so I started taking a short story class last semester and then a fiction class this semester. And so then I realized, oh man, I can write other stuff besides poetry, which is hard. I didn't realize how hard it is. I've written 2 nonfiction pieces. Not really gotten anything other than poetry published, but those are fun mediums. I'm so glad y'all interviewed me. This has been great. It was nice chatting with you.
Let's chat talking.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
I guess I'm rolling out then.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Honeycombing Through the Years.
With Alison and Nathan. See you next
See you next
time.
time.